thing about music. If you just want to play music, wonderful. Just play, have a good time. But some of us actually might want to do it for a living. And some of us actually might want to work. That is who this video is for. Do you want to turn your passion into a career? How do you actually have the skills necessary to actually get gigs that pay money? I have 3 different things that have gotten me gigs pretty consistently, and these are not necessarily things that you necessarily would think of, but they have consistently gotten me gigs. So we are going to start out with number 1, and that is going to be one that you might see coming, and that is actually sight reading. I know there's probably a whole lot of you guys that are just reading haters, and you just want to say that, hey, you just need to learn music by ear, right? Well, here's the truth. Reading is super powerful and super important when it comes to gigging with music. If you just want to play music, hey, have a good time learning by ear. And actually, to be honest, I love learning music by ear. Learning music by ear is so much fun. It's so powerful. But at the end of the day, if you want to get some gigs, you want to get some traction in the workforce, you need to be able to read music. Now, going back to a video that I did not that long ago called Why Lying is Essential to a Music Career, you don't have to read very well. I mean, if you do, it's going to be a big, big benefit. You're going to crush it. But to be honest, even reading a little bit, most of the time they just want to know that you can read, but most of the time you're not given the music the day of the gig. So you can use all your other senses to get good at it. Hey, you're reading a big band chart, but there's recordings available. Just use your intuition, use your ear a bit, and then use the big band chart to make sure you're on the same page. Reading is crucial to working as a musician. Can you get away without it? Yes, you can. But I can't speak today. This list is not about what you can get away with. This is what is going to get you those gigs that pay the sweet moolah. And the first one for you is reading. Now, this second one is probably going to be the one you expected. You know, it's kind of the classic clickbait sort of thing, which is, you know, almost non-advice, which is being a professional, showing up on time, reading the emails. And yes, I know you probably already knew this one, but it's so important. I just have to throw it in there. Don't worry, the third one is juicy. Please stick around for it. You're going to really appreciate the third one. It is way less obvious. But let's talk about this second one for just a second. What do I mean by being a professional? Well, first and foremost, reading comprehension. You need to be able to read those emails. I don't know how many gigs I have been to where they say, hey, we need black tie, black shirt, black suit. And you show up to the gig and people are wearing a white shirt. Why? Well, black tie is white shirt, black tie, black suit, right? But black tie, black shirt, black suit, that's all black. It's as simple as that. You show up with a white shirt and you're supposed to have a black shirt, guess what? You're not getting that gig again. And that may sound ridiculous and extreme, but it's just true. Now, some people are just so good that people will excuse them of something like that. You don't want to rely on that. You want to be the person that's so good and such a professional that they just have to have you back. So that is reading comprehension, but it doesn't just stop there. Wow, I can't speak today. It doesn't just stop there. You need to go above and beyond and even look into the details. You get about 6 details about showing up on time. This person most likely is nervous about this gig. So what do? You show up a little early. You're looking at the email, you notice that they got details about arrival times, and they're talking about how the venue's being a little persnickety and maybe there's an event before it happens. You actually make it a point then to show up maybe a little bit late or right on time to make sure that you're not a problem. That's really what it comes down to. If they have to think about you specifically more than what they need to, then you might not be getting that gig again. What you want to do is you want to blend in, not be a problem at all, and then show up to the gig, and then the moment it's showtime and it's on, the spotlight's on you, you kill it. They can't think of anything but you when you're playing, but the moment you're done playing, they forget all about you because you're so put together, so consistent, you got it down. Food, right? Let's say a gig promises food. Well, you still need a backup plan because you don't want to be that person that's just like, well, this food isn't exactly going to work for me, or when's the food coming? These are all really tiny things, but they add into this second point, which is being that consummate professional where you are just so put together they don't have to spend an iota of thinking on you because you figured out all the details yourself. You got everything you need to know. That also includes, though, by the way, emailing them or texting them or calling them when they don't give you all the details. If you don't know the address of your gig the day before the gig, you got a problem. You need that address. So go ahead, send off that email. It's going to be way better received when it's the day before, not the day of, going, hey, where am I supposed to be? And then the panic ensues and yada, yada, yada. That leads me to the final one, number 3 of the 3 things that you should do to make sure you keep getting those juicy paid gigs. And that is going to be doing your homework. What? That's a really obvious one, right? Well, let me actually elaborate a little bit more. Not just doing your homework, but going above and beyond on your homework. Now, let's say the audition says, hey, we need you to play this song. Well, you learn the song as the solo piano part, right? But you're ready to transpose it too. And you learn it maybe as a solo piano feature. Why are you learning this so intensely, even though it may not even be essential for the gig? Well, it gives them that feeling that you actually really care. That's really the goal of this. You're trying to show them that you truly care about your job and what you're doing. The thing about music that makes it so challenging is it is a very crowded field. There are so many people who want to play gigs. And to be honest, most of them are not very good. And they're also not very professional. So once you do these very basic things that I'm listing in this video, you're going to be above and beyond most everybody and be able to get these gigs. One of my favorite ways of doing this, by the way, is imagine somebody sends you an email going, hey, we need somebody for this gig coming up, but they need to know how to play Redbone by Childish Gambino. You could call them and be like, hey, I know how to play that. But do you know what's a way better move? Take out your phone, record yourself playing a video of Redbone. And do you know what you're going to do? You're going to edit out the best 30-second clip of it. You're not going to leave in the whole entire thing unless you just crushed it and you just want to show off. No, you're going to just film yourself playing the whole thing, then take out the best 30-second clip, send that to them right away. Like literally like minutes after. It needs to be so quick that they're like, wait a second. They did that in real time. It only took them insert amount of time to figure that out. That is what you want them to be thinking. Because then they're going to go, oh, I don't have to worry about this person at all. I have completely jumped over the audition process in so many of these cases doing that, where they're like, hey, do you know any Nirvana? And then I immediately send them a video. And they're like, what? What is going on? That is how you nail these gigs. So, to summarize up, what are we talking about with nailing these gigs and making sure we're getting paid? First and foremost, I honestly cannot remember what I talked about at the beginning of this video, but I know it was good. Oh yes, sight reading. That's what it was. So first and foremost, we got sight reading. And then the second was professionalism, showing up and reading the email, making sure you know the details, making sure you're not a problem. And then the final one was preparing and doing your homework. And that doesn't mean just practicing for the gig. It actually means practicing so much for the audition and all those things that you can surprise them and you can shock them with your ability, so then you're in like Flint right away from the beginning. I hope this has been helpful. I'm Robert Monroe. If you like this type of video, go ahead, like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Peace.